Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our information session on CFA Institute Investment Foundation Certification Program, organized by CFA Society Sri Lanka. We are very pleased to have each one of you here today. CFA Society Sri Lanka is a part of global network of CFA Institute, which is the premier association of investment professionals, setting the bar for excellence in our field. We have over 900,000 CFA charter holders across 160 markets, backed by 9 officers worldwide and 160 local officers, societies. The reach of the CFA Institute is truly remarkable. Without further ado, let's kick off our session today. I would like to extend a warm welcome to Rashmi Paranavitana, the CFA Vice President of CFA Society Sri Lanka, who will be extending her formal welcome. Rashmi, over to you.
Hi, everyone. Hope everyone can hear me clearly.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Would just like to warmly welcome each and every one of you. Thank you so much for taking time out from your busy schedules to join us on this webinar. We are hoping that it will really provide you more clarity and give you a better understanding about CFA Institute's Investment Foundation Certificate. We are very happy to have Sachin with us today to walk you through it. So again, would like to really welcome you all and hope you get the most out of this webinar. Do feel free to reach out after the webinar, ask questions if you have any clarifications. The CFA Institute Investment Foundation Certificate really gives a very thorough understanding of the investment industry, and it's really a good way for whether you're an employee, senior level employee, just looking to get a better understanding of the investment industry, improve your financial literacy. This will really give you that foundation to get a better understanding of this. And again, if you're even in the future are looking to even take up the CFA program as well, I think we are more than happy to whether have another session on that separately, or we look forward to educating more about the CFA program overall, even maybe at another session. But for today, the focus really is on the Investment Foundation Certificate. So again, mindful of the time, would really like to give the opportunity today for Aruna and Sachin to share more about the certificate and what it will cover and how it can really upskill you and give you a better foundation for this. So without much delay, Aruna, back to you. And again, thank you very much for joining this webinar. I hope you get the most of it. Back to you, Aruna. Aruna, you're on mute, I believe.
Thanks. Yeah, we at CFA Society, we are very pleased to introduce this revamped investment foundation certificate. In fact, we are very much committed to supporting our industry partners, as Rashmi mentioned, the upskilling and reskilling their teams. So today's content reflects the evolving demands of the employers and offering a broader skill set to meet their needs. So now it is my privilege to introduce Sachin Naik, Director of Partnerships and Client Solutions India at the CFA Institute. In fact, Sachin will guide us through the specifics of the CFA Institute Investment Foundation Certificate Program. So over the next 20 years, Sachin will, next 20 minutes, Sachin will provide a comprehensive overview. And afterwards, you will have the opportunity to participate in a Q&A session. And I suggest that you take the best out of those questions. In fact, you can raise your questions in the chat box. so that during the Q&A session, we can discuss those. So with that, let's make the most of this session. Sachin, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Aruna. Just a quick check before I start off. My video and my sound is clear, right?
It's quite clear.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Aruna. Thanks, Rashmi, for this warm introduction, and welcome everyone to this webinar. My name is Sachin Nayak, and I'm part of CFA Institute office based in Mumbai, India. And as part of my role, I work closely with the markets in South Asia, primarily India and Sri Lanka. So I work closely with this society, including CFA Society Sri Lanka. So it's my pleasure to partner with the society on this important topic on investment foundations overview. While we start off, let me just give a quick background about CFA Institute. We are a global not-for-profit organization, and we, as Aruna mentioned, we are across most markets globally through our partners, through the tie-ups which we have. We work across with about 160 plus regulators, 160 plus societies globally. Our mission is to lead the investment profession globally by promoting the highest standards of ethics, education, and professional excellence for the ultimate. And those last three words is something which we really stress on in most of the work that we do in our day-to-day routine, as well as the work which we do with our partners. The primary goal and hope is that candidates or the markets like yourself benefit out of the program or the activities that we do. As I mentioned, we work through partners across the world, through institutional investors, managers, universities, regulators, and 160 plus societies. CFA Institute has been around from 1947. That's when the genesis of the organization was laid. If you look at our member base, we are essentially heavily dominated by members in the Americas region. But a lot of our candidates come from the Asia Pacific region. This is primarily for our flagship program, that's the CFA program, and the CFA charter, which is defined as the gold standard in the industry. We are about 190,000 plus investment professionals who have gone through the program, have got their charter right now, and that community continues to grow. Now, if anyone is interested to learn more about the CFA program, you can quickly have a photo of this. I'm sure this presentation will also be shared with you later on, so you can go onto a link to learn more about the program. But I will not spend too much time into the CFA program. Our topic for discussion today is around investment foundations. And I will, of course, differentiate it with what a CFA program and an investment foundation program differs in during the course of the next 15 to 20 minutes. The objective of the certificate is to provide an overview of the essentials of finance, ethics, and investment roles, provide a clear understanding of the global investment industry, including terminology and foundation concept. So that's the broad objective, how we define the program to be. The program is not new. I think Aruna did allude to that. We had this program for about a decade now. So in 2013 is when we first launched the program, and it has undergone a couple of iterations to the current version that it has now. When we launched in 2013, it was known as Claritas, but through our interaction, through our feedback with the industry, we changed the name to something which is more resonating to what the program really delivers. That's investment foundation. So 2016-17 is when the name was changed. In fact, last year, we did a pause of this program. We pulled back this program where we wanted to revamp what we were delivering as part of this education offering. And during that interim period, about 6 months to a year, we went through a lot of changes. We kept what worked for us in the original investment foundation program and have come up with an enhanced version in early this year in February 2023. So then our revised curriculum has a lot of new content which aligns to what the industry requires. So topics such as DEI, ESG, and FinTech are some of the hot topics in discussion today, right? So those have been included in the investment foundation program. We've changed how we deliver that learning from the program as well. We've made it more modularized, and I'll talk about it a little later during my presentation as well. Of course, the learning experience as well as the assessment is something which we made much more simplified and engaging for all our learners. So more on that over the next few slides as I take you through the program. Getting to the topic now, the topic is divided across 6 courses, Investment Foundation, the whole program. So, and you have to go through this sequentially. If you look at the screen, starting from the top right, the first topic dwells into a quick overview and structure of the industry. Moving on, we talk about the functioning of the markets, which includes your primary markets and secondary markets, etc. Right, and then a little bit on the investment instruments, which includes quantitative concepts like time value of money, present value, etc. Right, get into a little bit of equity, debt, securities, and further on, and the next 3 topics, of course, gets into a little bit of macro economics, servicing the client needs, really understanding your clients first, right? What is their risk profile? What is the performance evaluation that you should be doing, or a portfolio suggestion? How will you go about constructing a portfolio for them? And finally, serving the greater good. And this is where I was talking about the newer topics, as well as ethics. Now, ethics is core to all the work that we do, including our programs, be it CFA program or the Investment Foundation program. You will find ethics as a key component of our learning. So the course is divided across this 6 topical area and among sub-chapters within each of it. There are assessments built along the course, along each of the module that you go through it, right? So the knowledge checks as part of the whole learning program. Each course has an end of course assessment. So you need to complete that before you progress onto the next course. So it has to gain maximum out of this program. We will recommend that you take it sequentially. What will the learners achieve? And you're here to understand more about that, right? So a basic understanding of the investment industry, including structure and vocabulary. We will not be going very deep into the topical areas, but give you a very fair foundational level of understanding on each of the topical area that I mentioned. If I have to differentiate with, say, a CFA program, the CFA program is much more in depth, while this is much more broader. In fact, the learning hours also, which I will define later on, will give you some understanding of the difference between the 2 programs. We have covered a bit about different job roles in the industry, the foundational concepts that I've talked about, and the ethical consideration, etc. Right? Now, who is this suitable for? Just from the background of the profile of participants who have already gone through the program, and this is just a snapshot of different roles of professionals within the investment industry who have taken up the program. Now, starting from 2013, over the last decade or so, we have about 40,000 successful learners who have gone through this program, including myself. When I joined CFA Institute about 7 years back, I came from a non-finance background, and working with practitioners within this field, it was important and essential to get a fair bit of learning, or get at least on some similar level, right? Not to the in-depth analysis that an investment professional does, but at least learn the language. So that's where I picked up the Investment Foundation program in its earlier version, and I'm looking forward to taking up this newer version very soon as well. So professionals, be it you are in HR, IT, project management, or any of the roles described here, or beyond that as well. If you're working in investment management or aspire to get into this industry, this is a very good program for you to start off. Just by examples, if you see on your screen, different kind of personas we talked about, right? Anyone who's in early career, who's looking to get an entry into the industry. So if you are looking to break in, this will be a good foundational level program where it will help you understand discuss our complex topics much more easily and fluently, right? So this builds up a broad-based understanding for you and a confidence for you when you get into a new career. Or if you're somebody in mid of your career and want to make a move, you've got a role of a business analyst and you're going to work with investment professionals as part of this role. So you want to build up on your finance side, right? This is another ideal program for you. Or say if you're an HR with 10 plus years of experience, and as a business partner for the function, you want to improve the understanding of what the function does. Again, a good starting point for you will be an investment foundation certificate. The benefit, as I just touched upon a little earlier, it will be a significant boost to your own professional development. It will be much more engaged. We were hearing examples from some of our prior participants, and one of the examples somebody shared was, when they were joining a town hall and the CFO was speaking, they could connect very well with what was discussed. In fact, they had the confidence to go in and ask questions as well based on the learning that they had done through the program. So that's the confidence booster that we talk about. It develops a foundational understanding. We're not talking about you to get into in-depth, analyze a equity instrument or analyze a debt security on this. We are not talking about doing that in-depth analysis, but what is an equity instrument? What are alternative instruments? This program will give you that broad-based understanding. You can work very well cohesively in a team of within your team, even though you are not doing the actual analysis, but you're supporting, you still be able to connect well with what your colleagues or counterparts want as part of working in the team. For the employees, the benefit is, your team will work much more effectively, especially if you're working with global colleagues across different markets. You will have a common understanding of what the industry looks like, what are the terminologies, what are the functions of the profession in general. You'll be able to identify with issues and have the confidence to speak up. That's what the capability will build up within your employees, and much more effective in their core roles. And it's an upskilling opportunity in general for the employees. Coming to the program itself, I talked about the 6 different modular courses that has been constructed with a detailed chapter overview also. And that is available on our website. Post this webinar, we'll also share that link with all the registrants where they can look at different topical areas, which is covered within each of these modules. So 6 courses, and each course takes about 10 to 12 hours of learning per course. It's a self-paced online learning program. You don't have to, it's very intuitive. We have designed it in such a manner that's engaging, as well as the learning is retained at the end of the program. So 10 to 12 hours of learning for each course across 6 courses, roughly about 60 to 90 hours of total time commitment. As I mentioned, it's self-paced, so you can schedule it as per your current time availability during the day or during the weekend as well. It tracks your progress, it helps you set study goals, and each registration is valid for 12 months. So if you're finishing the program prior to that, you still have access to your content and your assessments for that 12-month period. There will be knowledge as checks done during the course of the learning within each modules. Also, end of module questionnaires will also be there. And at the end of all these 6 programs, there will be an assessment exam also available for you to get the certificate. Now, it follows the same rigorous process that we have gone through in building the CFA program. So rest assured, the learning and the assessment is something which we have well thought through, and the content is something which you'll really learn out of the program, will be valuable for you, not just in your professional field. In fact, if I had to describe knowing how the situation in the market is in Sri Lanka, if you're talking about the economic conditions in the market, and how do you navigate that, right? There are news outside on what the government is trying to do. Having some fair bit of sound financial learning will help you to connect with what the stories are coming out in the market, right? So, and your own, I'll say, own financial independence. We talked about financial literacy early on, right? So this is something which will really help you in that course as well. Now, talking about the modular program and how we have made it engaging, we have used a lot of scenarios and story-based learning. You'll find a lot of videos during the course of the program when you're going through that. In addition to videos, there will be interactive elements along the program. So if you're seeing charts anywhere, so if you just hover around this particular option in this financial statement as accounts receivable mentioned. You want to understand what account receivable really is, just come to that plus sign on the screen and you'll get a little bit more in-depth learning as well. We have built in a lot of we have used a lot of graphs to make you understand, or images to make you understand what the learning we are teaching about. So use of graphs, text, and images is very well structured throughout the program. Coming finally to the program itself, it's, as we have already described, self-paced online 60 to 90 hours of learning. So at the end of the 6 learning modules that you finish, you can take up the assessment exam, which is also online. So all your learning is online. Once you register, you get access to the content through a platform called a learning ecosystem. So you will be learning it, your reading online. The assessment is also online. So assessment will be made available once you finish the 6 courses. And it's a 100 multiple choice question exam. The time, it will be timed, of course. There will be a time of about 140 minutes to complete this 100 questions. We talked about a participant profile earlier on, what it will give, who are suitable and what the certificate really delivers you on. You can scan this image on your screen, which will take you to the page on our website, where it talks a little bit more in details what the program really is. The cost of the program, of course, that will be also an essential question all of you will have. It is priced at US $350 currently. And what does 350, what are the question you will have? If you fail the exam, right, you have to pay 350 all again. To answer that, the first point will be you will have 2 attempts to the final exam. In fact, to the end of chapter exams, you will have 3 attempts to clear it. But for the final assessment, you'll still have 2 opportunities to give the exam. If you don't clear the first time, you can go back and give it once more within the same registration. If you have successfully cleared the exam, you'll get a digital certificate and a digital badge, which you can showcase on your LinkedIn profile as well to employers out there. So that's a quick overview of investment foundations. I will be getting into a little bit more detail when we get into a Q&A section. Just from CFA Institute's perspective, I talked about CFA program early on and the investment foundation. But if you're interested to learn what else do we have as part of our program offering, we are coming up with a lot of new programs, be it data science or certificate in ESG investing, climate finance, etc. The details for all of this is there on our website. Please do take time out to explore more on this certificate programs and see what is suitable to you. So with that, having said that, I think I will I'll stop here and I'll be happy to take more questions on the certificate and generally answer any queries that you might have. Aruna, over to you.
Thank you, Sachin, for that insightful presentation. So I request those who have joined, if you have any questions, you may put it on the chat box so that we can take it up with Sachin. But however, in the meantime, Sachin, just to ask a few questions, some of us believe that the investment foundation certification program is leading up to the CFA program.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Aruna, I think we lost you on that. I hope I am on the webinar still, so I can go ahead. Aruna, you're back?
Yes, I'm back. Yes. So sorry, I think got disconnected. So the question I have is if you could elaborate the investment foundation certification program, whether it is leading up to the CFA program or not, or is it's the entry qualification would be a different entry qualification for the CFA program or not?
Very good question, Aruna, and it's a very valid question from all those who are here and participating. I will not say it's a program which leads to the CFA program. So first, let me just again reiterate on CFA, the Investment Foundations program covers. It covers the topical area that might be repeated in the CFA program, but it doesn't go into a depth. I'm talking about a learning about 60 to 90 hours of learning where we are getting into the foundational aspects of various topics in the investment industry. But when it comes to a CFA program, the learning for each level, it is in depth. Each level we talk about at least 300 plus hours of learning. So we get into really in depth, starting from building a foundation to analysis of single security to building a portfolio across when we move through the 3 levels. So I'll not say it's an kind of a filtration where you start off and then you move on to the CFA program. But what I'll describe it is rather, if you're unsure of committing to a CFA program and you're not sure whether the investment industry is right for you, you can start off with an investment foundation program, go through the learning and see if the topics really resonate with you. If that's the case, then I think the next step, the next automatic step after you clear the exam will be a CFA program. I will say on that. Does it answer to your question, Aruna?
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is investment foundation program is not an entry qualification to the CFA program.
Correct.
Is what you're saying is, right? In addition to that, the question again is that for the investment foundation certificate program, where there is any entry qualification.
Okay.
You
Good
got it?
question. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. So there's no eligibility criteria as far as the investment foundation certificate program is concerned. So anyone and everyone are welcome to start the program whenever they wish to. CFA program, on the other hand, has certain eligibility criteria for entering into it. You can read about it more on the website, but not in the case of investment foundation. We have kept no restrictions for learners on that. I don't know.
Sachin, we are missing you. Yeah.
Oh, can you hear me, or did you hear my answer?
Yeah. Yeah. It was not very clear. You may want to repeat it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me repeat it. So what I said was, for investment foundation certificate program, there's no eligibility criteria. Everyone and anyone who wishes to learn and know more can join the program at any given point of time. I hope I was audible this time around, Aruna.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Quite clear. Right. Yeah. So in terms of the fee for the course, 350 USD, what does it include? Does it include only the course material, or does it include the exam fees as well?
Okay. Very good question again, I will say. So it's one whole price. I mean, it includes access to your learning materials, the assessments within the modules, as well as the final assessments. There is no separate fee that you need to pay for taking up the final assessment. So as and when you register by paying your fees, everything is made available to you in that one fee. Back to you, Aruna.
Yeah. Sachin just mentions probably how would you make those payments? 350 USD, or how do you register for the program?
So the registration is all online. So any individual who wants to take the program up, they can come in and register through our website itself. We'll share the link once again via the society if you can't find it. So all our registration for all our programs is in fact through the website itself, right? Payments right now will be through a credit card or through bank transfers. And in this case, it's through a credit card that you need to make. If there are organizations or institutions who are logged in today and they want to buy some vouchers for their employees, there's a separate process for that, where you can reach out to CFA Institute and we'll guide you through that process, where can be a bulk purchase or a corporate invoice that can be issued, and you can take it then to your employees. If we have corporates who are interested to do that, please reach out to the society, and the society will work with us to help facilitate that kind of an arrangement as well.
Sachin, one more question. In the event if a corporate wants to obtain corporate vouchers, would there be a special discount, or is there any concessionary rate you could work it out, or how?
No, Aruna, we do not have a discount that is available or offered as part of the corporate offering as well. But there are other support that we do provide to the corporates, including something which we are right now working on, where we will build the corporates based on the number of program vouchers they purchase from us. And be it for any of our program, be it for CFA, Investment Foundation, ESG, if they want to procure it, they procure the voucher, they sign an agreement, they procure the voucher with us, and we'll do a monthly billing. Or they can pay us upfront and do a bulk purchase as well. But there's no discount right away on the any of the quantity, I will say. Just one more point, Aruna. One more point, sorry.
Yeah.
Cut you off. For corporates, again, if they are interested to know the performance of their employees who are joining as part of the corporate support program that they are doing, we can help them out with reporting as well. How many people have taken up the vouchers, how many have passed the exam, etc. So those kind of support will be extended to a corporate.
Sure. Sachin, the next question I have is in terms of the content or looking at the learning goals of the CFA Institute Investment Foundation Certification Program is positioned as is suitable for non-finance, non-investment professionals. Would you like to elaborate a little more? Because I'm sure that most of them are joined perhaps non-finance or non-investment professionals.
Yeah, I mean, even investment professionals can take up, but if you're not involved in core investment management work, which requires you to do a deep investment analysis, etc., this program is suitable for you. If you are, say, working in a support function, an operational function within an investment management company or a company which works closely with the investment industry, your role will be suitable for this role will be suitable for you to take up this program. You'll be able to interact very much more better with the practitioners who actually do the more deep dive work on understanding and building a portfolio, or wealth management professionals, etc. But if you're in sales, if you're in marketing, and you just want to have a broad-based understanding, that's where the program equips you with those knowledge. Does that answer the question, Aruna?
Yes, that's fine. The next question I have is that in terms of obtaining tuition, whether it is really required for this course, and what kind of support the CFA Institute provide once you are registered for this program.
Okay, another good question. Now, all the latest programs that we are coming up with Investment Foundation, ESG, we have really revamped our program design. So instruction design, how we describe it, how the programs are structured and built up. We have modularized this program as well. The goal and intent is to make the learning much more engaging, and candidates can retain their knowledge. For this program also, we do not recommend that you will need a prep training or from any other institution. But having said that, we do know of firms who offer some kind of master classes within the organization. If you have CFA chart holders, or if you have practitioners within your organization, they can come in and teach one specific topic within this program. So if it's something on alternative investments or some topic on fintech, they can come in and help facilitate a master class. But in general, I think it can go in and do a self-study. If there are doubts during the program that come up, we can always raise questions through the platform that we are offering. You can always post your question, and somebody will pick up and clarify your doubts as well. So there is support provided within the learning platform itself.
Yes, sure. Thanks. So probably another question I have is, once you are registered for this program, you are supposed to conclude or finish the program within a year.
Correct.
Yes. So supposing if you do take the exams within a year, and if you do fail the program, you are given another opportunity, and for which is there a charge, or it's included in 350 USDs?
Okay, great question. So 2 attempts at the final assessment is available within the same cost. You do not need to pay us additional. So $350 covers those 2 assessments as well.
Right. Then finally, once you get through the exams, how do you get the certificate? Do you post courier it, or how would you sort of
Okay. So
pass that?
we have something called as a digital certificate. We do not have a print certificate for the program. We provide a digital certificate and a digital badge for anyone who successfully completes the program. So once you finish the program, you will receive a follow-up mail from CFA Institute congratulating you on passing the exam and guiding you on how to download the certificate and the digital badge, which you can use it on LinkedIn or any other social media platform that might be there, right? So there's no print certificate as part of the offering that is there.
Right. So perhaps this may be my final question, since there are no other questions. Are there any examination centers in Sri Lanka? How do you explain the process?
You don't need to go to an exam center. It's online. So right through your access itself, at the comfort of your home, you can sit and give the exam. Though it will be timed exam about 140 minutes to answer that 100 multiple choice question. There is no proctored exam for this program. So it's a check of your knowledge. We will not have a proctored exam unlike a CFA program or a CFA exam. So that's how we go about it. While we wait for other questions, I will encourage if you have more questions, be it CFA with the investment foundation or otherwise, please continue to post it. Just a couple of other thoughts that came up to my mind as well. Just talking about the program itself, right? So when we relaunched it in earlier this year in February, we had some of the largest global banks signing up to take up the program and put their teams and employees through the program. The likes of State Street, BlackRock, AXA, or a BNP or a UBS, all this organization have signed up with us. In fact, a couple of other names as well, Mercer or MSCI. These are some global names which presence across different markets. So they have and they want to leverage the program to provide that uniform understanding and learning for their team across markets, irrespective whether they are working in the Americas or the APAC region. So that's where the adoption for the program is happening, and that's where they recognize the value for it. So I think that's a great testimony to the content itself that CFA Institute and the programs that we bring out and the industry that partners with us. I think there are a few global industries in Sri Lanka as well who will definitely echo and value from similar kind of learning that we are bringing in. For the domestic industry itself, I think it's a good value-add learning that you can provide to your employee, especially as I mentioned, situation in times like this when we are really trying to understand how our work or how the market impacts what we are doing on a day-to-day role, and how we can navigate the difficult times around us. So it's a good learning program, if not for professionally, at least for your personal understanding, just to improve your literacy, or somebody in your family who wants to improve their financial literacy. In addition to the work that the society does on ground, I think this is one more program that can help you in that front. I don't know anything else. We have further questions coming up.
Yeah, well, there's a question, how would the valuation models and investment models be addressed by the course? Are the exams online? That's a question.
The models, okay.
Yeah, how would the valuation models and the investment models?
Well, you don't need to build a model per se. You will be just, as I mentioned, the assessment is multiple choice, right? We will have a foundational level question. Sorry, if I digress a little bit on this, because I will not have a clear understanding how we are testing on this particular question right now. But there will be a more multi-level check. If this is something you are very keen, I think I'll be happy to go back and get you with better clarity on how it will look like. In fact, I have a demo model also, which I can run you through one particular chapter and how it looks like if you have time today.
Right. Also, there's another question. How relevant is the program to lawyer and a CIMA associate who is in a M&A division of a corporate?
Okay. For a lawyer, I think that's a good question. If you're somebody, as I said, if you're somebody who wants to have a better understanding of finance, right? It helps you in your professional role. If it helps you in your interaction with colleagues, I think that's a very good program to have. For a CMA associate, I think though I don't know the content you would have covered in as part of the CMA associate program. If you have certain foundational understanding of the accounting space, but want a broad-based understanding of investment industry space, that actually supplements your knowledge well on that space. Okay, and you're working in an M&A division, right? So for a corporate lawyer, knowing what your client needs in that particular function, you can at least have some good sound understanding of what they are referring on the business front when they interact with you. I mean, that will be my guidance.
Ask another question. Relevancy for a central banker.
Interesting questions. You are coming from all different kind of roles right now, and that's very encouraging to see on that. And for a central banker as well, I'm sure you have certain sound understanding of finance if you're working in that profession by now, right? But there will always be something new to learn. If you're looking at a little bit more in-depth learning about, say, ESG or fintech or alternative investment or investments in general, if that's something you've not covered in earlier, if those are topic that resonates with you, I will definitely encourage. I will really suggest that have a look through the website and the topical areas that we are covering. And if you think there are areas that you might have some understanding but want to just widen your horizon, as a central banker, that may be also very well knowledge assessment for you as well.
There is once again the specific question about the valuation models, whether wants to know example, the PE, discounted cash flow, etc. is covered.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question and we are getting into very specific. So unfortunately, I will not be able to right away answer that top of mind, but we'll be happy to take it back and see why the society, I think this is coming from Bhishma, yeah. Bhishma will give you some guidance on this particular question via the society. So we will pass on some additional details around this to the society. I hope that will work, Aruna.
Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah. Okay. Since there aren't any questions, Sachin, maybe what I see is that it's the learning. It's going to be very interesting program because you will be at your own discretion. Would you like to quickly sum up the programs for the benefit of everyone who has joined?
Sure. Thanks, Aruna. I'll just go back to the initial point when somebody was discussing about CFA program and investment foundation, right? While I give my final statement, I'll just want to add on one more comment. A lot of candidates did take investment foundation, not a sizable, but I think about roughly about 10-15% of the candidates, about 40,000 candidates have passed the program. So about 10-15 have ultimately gone ahead and taken up the CFA program as well. So they use this as an entry level criteria for them to filter out if this is an area where they want to build a career or learn more. Beyond that, we have worked with a lot of different type of organizations, be it the global banks, global investment management firms, firms within the media space, or generally anyone who's in the non-core industry. They wanted to build an understanding of this topic. A lot of them have leveraged the content over the years. With the revamped content that we have come up, and there will be more focus on how we continue to deliver the program. I'm sure all of you will really value the learning that comes out of the program. We will touch upon all the key topics of the investment industry. It will build up a good foundation of your understanding of the investment industry, different roles within it, some of the terminologies that the practitioners themselves discuss, and ethics at the core of all of it, right? So this broad-based understanding will be built up for you as you go through the program. And the learning is much more streamlined. It has on your own self-paced. It's on your own convenience when you want to put that about 70, 80 hours of learning. Even in a period of, say, if you're able to pull out just 1 or 2 hours in a day, 1 hour, in fact, even 30 hours, if you pull out in a month, you can complete the program in 2 months. But we are giving you sufficient time to go through the program so that the learning is really of value add. It's not just to clear an exam, but something that you will retain for the professional front as well as the personal and self-development as well. So do explore the program a bit more in detail on our website. There are further questions. Society is there to support you with the answers, and the society will work closely with us in this front. That's about from me, Aruna. Pass the mic back to you then.
Right. So thank you very much, Sachin, the joining today. That was very interesting presentation to presenting the insights of the CFA Institute Investment Foundation program. I hope the participant who joined got clear idea about the program. And as Sachin said, if there's any question, any query, you could always reach out to us. So with that, while thanking everyone who joined, and Sachin, we would like to close the session today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aruna, and thank you everyone for joining in. Take care.
Thank you.